and welcome to another amazing episode of the TPH show where we spotlight creative professionals and entrepreneurs who are doing amazing work. We share their stories and their journeys. And today we have the popular Pastor B. I love it.
Oh my God.
We have Pastor B on the show today. Pastor B is Abimbola Victoria Olawale, and today she's here to tell us about her journey, how she started, and what she would like us to know about her brand. Thank you so much for coming, Pastor B.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here.
It's my pleasure. So, Pastor B, it's you are a transformation speaker.
Yes.
And also a pastor.
Yes.
I'm interested in knowing how you started this journey of transformation and impacting lives.
Well, that's a very big question with a long backstory. I remember. Let's start from the very beginning. When I think about the way my life has been for the past 15, 20 years now, it's been from one level of growth to the other. So I didn't plan to be a coach, but I've always known I was going to be in ministry, right? But as the world grew and as we also grew in the world, a lot of things kept unfolding, and then I began to see that this is one other path that God will have me take as well. Right from when I was very young, I'm talking 16, 17, I've been speaking on stages. I remember the very first stage that I spoke on, it was a Sunday school. I was in 100 level, I was just 17 years old. And I just joined Bible studies in fellowship about 3 weeks prior to that time. And it was exam period. And my Bible study coordinator said I was going to take the general Sunday school class. And this is RCF, which was the largest fellowship on campus. So we are talking about 1,000, 1,500 attendees per Sunday. And for Sunday school, we will at least have 500, if not more, plus or minus on a Sunday. So I was supposed to take the Sunday school. So I was saying that, what am I going to say to 500 people as a 17-year-old on a Sunday morning when they came to hear the senior people preach, So that was the very first time I ever stood on a stage to speak. And from there, I've always had one opportunity to do something, to share the word of God, to learn. And I also discovered that, becoming the woman that I am today, it wasn't something that just happened all of a sudden. It was something it was a process. It's a partnership of process and platform. That's how I like to call it, because it is in the faithfulness of the little opportunities that was giving birth to the bigger and the bigger opportunities. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the little opportunities gave birth to the bigger opportunities. The little chance gave birth to the bigger chance. So I've always been a Jesus girl. So a time came in my life when I realized that most people who seem to be doing something major in a transformational world are people who had messy pasts that were turning pain to purpose, that had stories to share, and then they were, beginning to share it, and they were sharing people how they could get better. And then I started having this burden in my heart that it seemed also as if people wouldn't have messy stories, as it were. They didn't see it. It's almost as if Jesus wasn't interested in using people who don't have messy stories. But I realized that Jesus also wants to, show people that they don't have to have gone through. Satan doesn't have to have had a say in their life or a win over them before they become usable. Satan doesn't have to have used you and destroyed you and done something to you before you become usable. God is in the business of preservation as much as is in the business of restoration. God wants to restore those who has lost, but he's also interested in preserving the sheep that he has. He's not just concerned about those who are lost and he wants to restore them. He also at the same time wants to preserve those who are not lost. You know, he told Elijah, he said, I have 7,000 who have not even bowed to Baal at all. So God is interested in our preservation as well. And that became a very strong burden in my heart. And that was what led to the beginning of the work that I was doing, you know, sharing, teaching and showing, you know, especially women, how to live a life that is faith focused, how to live a life that is faith driven, how to live a life that is faith led, a faith led life, a life that, you know, the our community, which is now called a safe space, started majorly as faith first lifestyle, because my desire was actually to help us see that we can live a life as women, a life that is inspired and led by faith, a life that when you want to make any decision, you want to do anything, you want to make any choice, the first thing you are considering is your faith. So this was just a passion in my heart. I take the message to secondary school, I take it to women around me, we do it in church. And
Okay, so looking at your journey so far,
yeah,
what aspects has humbled you the most?
humbled me the most. I remember I was in a coaching session with one of my clients, and that day she was working. We were working on a project. She wanted to build a community, and that day as I got on the call with her, she's based abroad. I just knew something was wrong, and I just felt in my spirit that we can't continue this. We need to first of all tackle what was wrong. And I told her, I said, let's leave the project we have for today. What's wrong? What's going on? And as we were doing that, she burst into tears. My session was supposed to be a 60-minute session. We were on a call for about 3 hours that day. She said, Pastor B, I don't even want to do this. And by the time we were talking, it was about a marriage. A lot of things were going on in our home, in our family, with our in-laws. A lot of things was going on. And in that moment, I was just grateful that there was this opportunity to be a blessing to her. That is not even necessarily in the work that we were supposed to be doing together. And that's the beauty of doing a transformational work. It's a well-rounded work, right? It's holistic. It's all-encompassing. You get to meet people who most times come to you for something else, but in the process of interacting with them and trying to help them grow in that area, you are opportuned to be able to affect even other areas of their lives, because a woman who wants to start a brand or build a business, has children, has husband, has a home, has other things that if those things are not, they are not okay in that area, they are not well addressed, and they are not okay, she won't be able to do the work that she wants to do. You need to be whole and well before you can put in your best in the work, right? So that day I was just, after that my husband came back and I explained the situation to him, and he was like, wow, this is serious. I remember, I can't mention lots of DMs of issues that I get out, and someone just said, I saw this your post and I read it and this happened to me and that happened to me, and I just feel, wow, God, you're just so good. When you make a post, sometimes even the post that you were not expecting to go viral or to do well is the post that someone will see and say that I just came back from church. There was one Sunday I made that post immediately after service. I just felt in my spirit to make the post. The post didn't get more than maybe a few thousand reach, but that post had got me like 4 testimony DMs, like, I just read this post now and this is what this was just the answer to my meditations in the morning. And so and after Sunday I was on my way back home and I just tested something and I just put it on my Instagram, So these are humbling moments of the work that I do. They are humbling and just makes you feel so privileged, so grateful that you obey the nudges of the Holy Spirit and you just follow through with what God is saying and telling you to do. Yeah.
Amazing. So your brand,
Safe space.
Safe Space is
Yes.
definitely is more very attached to your brand, and I'm
Yes.
sure that it's your brand actually, not attached. But then you've been able to build leadership and also make impact.
Mhm.
So, with respect to this experience of yours, what can you define leadership and impact as?
Leadership and impact with respect to the work that I do is leadership is influence. Leadership is impact. Leadership is impact and influence. That's the core of what leadership is, because you have to make, there's a level of impact that you make in the life of those who follow you. There's a level of influence that you have that make people to say that I want to learn from this person. I want to hear what this person has to say. So leadership is actually influence. Leadership is impact. Leadership is having vision. Leadership is also vision. It's vision, because he who is leading is he who is ahead. So he that is ahead has to be able to see ahead and show the light and point the way to those who are coming behind. So leadership is also vision. You have to be visionary to be a leader. Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. But then on this journey as a leader and as an impact professional, because of course,
That's professional.
it's yes, it's a career and it's a calling,
Yeah.
right? So, but has there been any form of failure on this journey?
Yeah. Yeah. There's been a failure, disappointment, things not going as you plan, especially for someone who is a visionary. If you're a visionary, just like you are as well, you're even being a project manager as well. Um, there's a way you envision something and you plan for it and you strategize and you have a good picture and a great picture in your mind of how this thing is going to come out and how it's going to look, right? So when it doesn't turn out like that, or it turn out like the complete opposite of what you have envisioned, that you'll definitely get disappointment. So yes, there has been failure. I remember, first of all, when I envisioned, I've been doing a lot of offline work before I started to come online. I go to secondary schools, I, minister in church and with people and meet people and all of that. So I've been doing that well. So when I came online, I was first of all disappointed, because for a long time, don't let me even say disappointed alone, like failed literally, because my pages were not growing, my brand wasn't growing. I had envisioned that this light that we carry, once we shine it like this, people will see it. But when you shine the light and people did not see the light that you are shining, you're going to feel like, that this light that we carry, we are going to shine this light, we want to shine it. But when you now shine that light and nobody's seeing that, or maybe Instagram algorithm decided to put black curtain in front of the light that you're trying to shine, you're beginning to wonder what's going on. So that growth, especially online growth, was one major setback, but that has been overcome by the grace of God. That's what, of course, that now led to learning, seeing that the vision alone is not the complete picture. Now that you have the vision, go and learn how to work the vision. So then I learned to, okay, so how do we grow pages? How do we build brands? How do we grow our brands? How do we do that? So that failure now led to that kind of learning of the fact, okay, now that I have the vision, how do I work this vision? How do I make it one? Bible says that write the vision down, make it plain, that he that reads it may run. So it wasn't only that we know the vision. Now I have to run with that vision. I have to work the vision. I have to ensure that I know how to implement this vision. So that led to a whole lot of other learning as well. That was one major setback that I can pinpoint on. A lot of other disappointments, like there was this person I wanted to work with. Yeah. And, I sent a couple of emails, sent it over and over again. And, they first of all sent you, ask you some questions, maybe when you didn't meet the standard they were hoping for, then you just start ignoring you and ignoring it. So that happened a lot. I remember my first magazine project as well, right? We've had about 5 editions now, but the first one we attempted, we sent out a couple of emails, and my assistant was saying that, Pastor B, we didn't respond. I said, we'll send out, we need 100 people. So we send out 150 or 200. Some will respond, some will not, but we're going to do what we need to do. So she was disappointed. We were getting a lot of no's, I'm not interested, or people just ignoring us. But we kept pushing it, and we did it, and it came out well. Do you know that when the magazine finally came out, and it was all over and everything like that, some of the people who ignored us started sending us emails like, oh, we are sorry we missed your email. But somewhere we know you didn't miss our email. We know you simply just ignored our email. But now that you saw it online, you now remember that, these people also emailed me. Oh, we're sorry we missed your email. So imagine that kind of failure, that kind of disappointment stopping you from doing what you wanted to do. So we've had such disappointment and failures. A lot. A lot. We just have to keep pushing through despite.
So I'm not interested. I know that this is Pastor B, and then there's a safe space. I think there's more to some things that we don't see online, and some things that we don't know about Pastor B until we come in contact.
Okay.
Just like I am seated here with you. So I'm just wondering, what else is the Pastor B's brand about? What else is the Victoria Olawale brand all about that people should be able to know?
About me and my brand. Okay, great. So for me and my brand, it started as a safe space, and that seems to be like one thing that we do that a lot of people know. But a safe space has given birth to a lot of other expressions right now, to the glory of God, and it has given birth to quite a number of other expressions. So in the work that I'm doing in a safe space, we were helping women step into a life of freedom, fruitfulness, and fulfillment. And doing that, we had women who were growing, who were learning. We do Bible study, we do devotionals, mentorship sessions, and all of that. And doing that, we had women who started learning and growing, and we're now really, really interested in stepping into purpose, right? And that was what gave birth to Arise Network. This was particularly designed to help women to shine their light and grow. So that's one expression of our safe space. That's one of the babies of our safe space right now. But there are a lot of other things about me. So 2 main brands are Safe Space and Arise. Well, I also have a kids expression, Safe Kids. Right. I'm also a relationship and marital expert as well. So I started getting a lot of questions on marriages, relationships. So I said, instead of me answering everybody one by one all these questions, let's put resources together. Let's have class together. So that's what gave birth to MBA for Singles and Married, which is Marital Bliss Academy, which is also another expression of my work, because I'm also passionate about building kingdom homes, right? Building kingdom homes and helping singles make smart marital choices. That's actually one of my important passions, like smart marital choices, because I understand that the choice you make is going to define a lot of things about your life. Take, for instance, this is a very good example. This happened today, I was in the studio having my makeup done, and I was telling the artist that my husband was going to be with the children at home. And she started talking. She said, thank God you married a pastor. She said, my husband will never do that. So it was just a joke. My husband was calling me that, are you ready? Are you done? Are you going? And I said, so she was like, is daddy going with you? I said, no, that daddy is on baby duty today. She was shocked. I said, daddy is on baby duties. That he's going to be the one taking care of the children while I go out. She said, my husband will never do it. He will tell you anywhere you are going, carry your children along. That it's good to marry a good man. No. I felt for her. But it also made me to realize the importance of helping singles make smart marital choices. that affects a lot about what your life will end up looking like. Imagine I wanted to do this, or I have other places to speaking engagements, conferences, retreats, things you need to do. There are days that you go from morning to evening, have this ceremony somewhere, and you don't have a supportive husband. So that was the passion that gave birth to the work that I do at MBA. So, and I love when the Lord gave me that name MBA. I say, yes, it's real MBA. MBA for singles and married, because we need to learn how to make smart marital choices so that we won't find ourselves in an unfulfilling future and we are wondering, how did I get here? And it's just a non-supportive partner. But that gave birth to that aspect of the work that I do, which is quite humbling for me. You know, I was in there are plenty of stories to tell. Sincerely, I'm telling you, I was in a coaching. I coached a couple for about 3 months earlier in the year. When they came to me with questions, and a lot of things was wrong, and I told them, I said that you people will never get to needing premarital counseling if we don't first of all do this, because the way this relationship needs help. If you will ever get to premaritals, like you may never, but if you are doing premarital counseling, it means you're already planning to get married. I said this relationship will break before you get to that level if you don't first of all get help in this situation that you're in. Do you get? Because there was a lot of things wrong. So these are the humbling moments that you when you get to encounter people. So the work that I do in safe space has really, really giving birth to a whole lot of other expressions. I'm just grateful to God for it, sincerely. Amazing. Just grateful to God for it.
Amazing. I see a woman with so many wings. Honestly, I'm marveled. I didn't even expect all of this. As much as I know the Victoria Olawale brand, I mean, there's just so much to unpack.
It's good.
And then that brings me to ask, because I'm sure so many people are going to be inspired seeing what you're doing, your journey and all of that. And sometimes they would want to be like you. Okay. So for someone out there who is either a pastor or not, but interested in building something like yours or being in the same position, making impact like you, what do you think this person should be able to know about this journey?
Growth. Growth is important. There are a lot of things. But the first thing I'll say, for anyone who wants to live a life of meaning, because that seems to be what sums up the question that you're asking. Anyone wants to live a life of meaning, you have to be intentional about not looking at yourself alone. We are naturally self-centered beings. We think about ourselves. To be a person of impact, you have to stop thinking only about yourself. It starts from the passion within. So you have to intentionally self-disrupt your self-centeredness. Because if you are only consumed about yourself, you can't be concerned for someone else. And that is why we have a lot of people who are not concerned about any other person. They like it when they say impact. They like it when they say things. They even desire that I want to do these things, because most times what they see is the accolade, is the
you want to be recognized,
is
like
the award and the plenty followers and all of that. They like it, but they are too self-consumed, right? So the first step is to stop being self-centered. You can't be a self-centered person and make impact, because you will be too consumed with yourself to be concerned about someone else. If you are consumed with yourself, you'll be concerned about other people. So that's number one. Number two is growth. The journey to making impact as a minister, it's basically has to be a calling, really, a calling, because that's to be a thing of purpose. So you also have to discern and discover for yourself what God has designed for you and who He has designed for you to be. That's when it will also flow. It will flow, it will resonate with you. That's another. Number three is intellectual rigor. You have to be given to learning and growth, because you will encounter a lot of people that will have a lot of things, and if you're going to be a blessing to them, even if whether on a big stage or even in day-to-day interaction, you have to be someone who is given to learning and growth. I made a decision, first of all unconscious, then after a while I realized that this was a pattern with me. So I said I'm going to make it more structured to learn something new every day. There's no day that goes by that I don't learn something. I make sure I learn something. So when you encounter me sometimes and I'm speaking and I'm talking, you are wondering, how does this person knows this thing, or how can she speak to this issue and speak to that issue? And is you will be wondering, I wonder how long she reads or how many books she has read. Not necessarily that. I read a lot. I've been given to reading since I was in the university, but that's not even it. It's in the daily consuming of information. Take for instance, I was in a coaching session with a lady one time ago, and she was sharing an experience with me. It was our first time meeting, so she was sharing something with me, and she mentioned a country, Montenegro, and immediately she mentioned Montenegro, all my antennas went out. Where have I heard Montenegro before? What is Montenegro? Where is Montenegro? Because I knew that if I could come into that conversation with her, with the fact that I know that country, it's going to open her up to me and we're going to talk better. So all my antennas went. So I remembered, I've heard of Montenegro inside the Princess Switch. And I remember that when I heard of that country, that time, I browsed it. So even when watching a movie, I ensured that I learned. So thank God I browsed it. So when she started that conversation, I said, yes, I've heard of Montenegro. So she was like, wow, you know Montenegro? I said, no, I've never been there, but heard is a beautiful place. I've seen some pictures. So the fact that I could speak to that conversation opened that up to me. So after the session and I was reflecting, I asked myself, I said, what if I couldn't say anything when she mentioned Montenegro? Because the only foreign countries I know are US, Canada, UK. What would I have said? How would we have been able to connect and talk? Because the only thing I know is US, Canada, UK. Thank God I know other countries. Thank God I know a country as small as Montenegro is not even up to this Lagos. Thank God I know that there's a country as small as that. Simply because I was watching a movie, I heard it, but because I have a culture of learning every day, I decided to say, today, let me learn what is Montenegro. So I picked up my phone and I browsed Montenegro. So that opened that up. So you have to be given to learning.
That brings me to ask, what aspect of your job or your career and your journey excites you the most?
Speaking to people, yeah, that excites me the most. When I have a session, because it's taking strength and time and energy, when you could just put it in a course and record it and just throw it out there. I said, I have courses, I have master classes, but I want to have one-on-one interaction. There's a lot that happen when you get to talk to people and you get to hear them and they get to ask you questions, and as you're interacting, you are checking, you're navigating in the spirit, you're trying to pick answers. That will not happen in masterclass. If I, like the example of the lady I was telling you that time, if I just recorded a course and sent to her, I wouldn't know that she was going through that in her marriage that day. But because it was a one-on-one session, we were sitting together, we were talking. I was feeling her emotions, I was seeing her mood, I was feeling her vibes. I was seeing what was going on with her. I could pick that, oh, let's leave work. Let's talk personal. What is going on with you? How can I come in? And since then, I've been checking up, following up on what is going on, the improvements in making, the growth and all of that. So it's so beautiful, that really excites me. The impact part of the work, the interaction part of the work, the opportunity to just be a blessing. I think that's just that opportunity to interact with people and be a blessing. I love it so much and I'm grateful for it. Yes.
Amazing.
I'm grateful for it.
Amazing.
Thank
you.
you.
Now that we are in a new year, what should we expect from you?
Wow. Now I was saying this morning that I've entered new year already. Yeah, just continuity, consistency in a bigger scale of the things that I'm already doing, establishing it, making it more, making all my expressions. In fact, I was still meditating on this, in the past couple of days. How do we establish, the things that I'm doing, and how do I ensure that my work and my vision just reaches more people? So this coming year really is not necessarily a year of doing lots of new things. It's a year of solidifying, a year of establishing, a year of growth. Yes, that's what I'm doing this year.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. I also look forward to it. I'm looking forward to even being a part of all of those communities.
Thank you.
All right. So, what do you have to say to everybody? I mean, anyone watching intentionally trying to build a brand or trying to make impacts. What would you like to say to them before we go?
To anyone that is trying to build a brand, make impact, just do it. Do it. Like I've said earlier, stop being consumed with yourself. Don't be self-centered. Be 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 other concerned. Be concerned for others. Don't be self-centered. That's the first thing. Then for building a brand, even making impact, it will require consistency. And this is what I always tell people, right? Don't do what you are passionate about. Something that even when you are not seeing results yet, you can continue in. Because I'm telling you, building a brand is no joke. It's not a small work. Because a brand means what people associate with you. That's actually what your brand is. What people think of when they think of you. So it's something that you have to be able to do repeatedly until people start seeing you and saying that when they see you. Until people start seeing you, thinking of it, thinking of an issue, and they think you around it. So it will take time for that. You have to be authentic. You can't afford to copy others, because when you copy others and you are not authentic, it will show. It won't feel like you. And when people don't see the authenticity and the sincerity in you, and they won't connect with you. Authenticity is actually what brings connection. Authenticity. So once your brand doesn't feel authentic, people will not connect. And when they cannot connect, the brand will not grow. So that's basically it. Yes.
Amazing.
Thank
You
you.
so much for
Thank you
those
for having me.
impactful words. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much
having
for
me.
coming.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I'm wild. I'm sure everybody else is it's wild. Thank you for coming.
It's so good to be here.
Welcome to the end of today's episode. See you on the next episode. Don't forget, my name is Fortune Ubala, and we are here on the TV Head Show, where we spotlight the stories of creative professionals and entrepreneurs. Bye.